Today I'm fulfilling my promise that I made in the last video. I'm going to be doing a top 10 best episodes of a certain CBBC show, and today it's going to be Bear Behaving Badly. Number 10, Teething Trouble. In this episode, basically, Nev gets his first tooth and he's really shocked. But then, at first, Crazy Keith is like really shocked as well, but then he does whatever he can to try and get it out. And in the end, it's quite a happy ending. He's able to use it to stab all of the letters that get into his, well, flat, I guess. And then, yeah, that's it really. That's the whole basic plot. But then also, it's pretty funny when Aunt Barbara wants to take him to the dog dentist. And she's like looking after him throughout the day, and then Mr. Angry Pants keeps on trying to load his ice cream van in secret, but then Barbara keeps on like catching him and then making him give the ice cream, which I just thought it's kind of like frustrating comedy, but it just was really funny. Number 9 is Wibbles, when Nev and Keith eat too much sticky toffee pudding and then end up doing a sort of burp, which then sparks the life of Wibbles. A bit of a weird explanation, but then they turns out that Wibbles, despite being, well, they were quite cute, but at the same time they had incredibly annoying voices. But still, apart from that, really interesting episode of how they started off as kind of being cute, but then they turned out they're proper dangerous, not like malicious, but they just eat all of the furniture. And then the twist of it is how they only stop eating when they sleep. So in the end, they are able to get rid of them by doing it. Well, Nev was able to do a quite funny lullaby. It's like ducky ducky socks 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 ducky. Anyway, like that. It's pretty funny watching Plank's reaction. Well, Angry Pants' reaction to it, how it's so different to Barbara's, because she's like really gentle, and then Angry Pants is just like, right, I'm gonna whack you all. And all at the end, how like Barney was none the wiser at the end, because not only did they win all the sticky toffee puddings, they won an exact replica of all the furniture in their flat. And all surprise, surprise, at the end, there was another sticky toffee pudding. Number 8, Postmannev, when Nev has to do the rounds because the postie has like been injured. But it's pretty funny when he puts on the glasses, thinking they're rockstar glasses, and he can't see to save his life. So he ends up like destroying Angry Pants' ice cream cone. And to be honest, I actually kind of felt sorry for him at that point. Yeah, but then it was also quite interesting when he ended up in like some spooky part of like the block of flats that he'd never seen before, which was just a very brief scene, but I just found that bit really interesting. I think just all around episode just had like generally quite a funny sort of theme, but there's not an awful lot to say about it other than that. Number 7 is Magic Box. And to us, there is just no topping the utter randomness of this episode. Like, one of the best characters is Bouncer Boy, and him and Angry Pants have just such great chemistry. Just just how crazy it all is, and like Barney just disappears. Angry Pants can't stop dancing, and the best bit when Bouncer Boy turns into a toilet, and Angry Pants just can't help singing about it. Well, I think it's all kind of solved when the wizard comes around, but it's just such like the randomness. It just cannot be topped. It was just so funny. Number 6 is Neverquest, and this is a very unusual episode because it's set in a sort of alternate reality. And while usually I'd say Melanie is probably my least favourite character, in this episode she's actually much more likeable and interesting. And Nev and Keith find themselves in a sort of world, sort of a snowy world, that looks just like the block of flats, and Barney is like a hero on a night, and the Ice Cream Queen is played by Barbara, and Angry Pants is like a giant. but like they face 3 challenges in order to win the kingdom of Neverland. And yeah, it was just quite interesting to see it in a different way. This also was my first episode which I watched, which kind of gave me quite a different view of what the show was going to be like. But I'm glad I did it, and it got me into this show way back when I was about 7 or 8. Number 5 is Operationnev, and this is when Angry Pants is like he gets knocked unconscious, and Nev and Keith decide to operate on him themselves using like in like a way like Operation. And this was just so funny when they got all the things out of him, like Angry Pants marbles, the voice box, the balance. And he just went pretty insane afterwards. He was like painting the walls with ice cream, and it was just so hilarious. Yeah, that's it really. I mean, they had to go back and find the Angry Pants marbles to get Angry Pants back to normal again. It was just like so funny to watch. Number 4 is Cave Bear. I really like the opening of when Nev just tries to find some ice cream because he doesn't want the salad, and then he finds a bear that looks just like him, frozen inside an ice cube, which then he only is able to say the word rock, which kind of got old, but the episode sort of kept on being engaging when they lost him or were just trying to find him, and in the end they sent him back. And I just like the ending of when he was finally able to say Chippedia. But I also really liked the bits when it turns out he's got the sort of the same passions as Nev. They both love ice cream, and then especially when Barbara gets like really confused because she thinks that Nev is attacking her. Number 3 is Mr. Ice Cream Head, and it's another episode with Bouncer Boy, and it was going to be a pretty funny one if it's got Bouncer Boy, and even Angry Pants is really funny in this episode. Him and Beatrice are like doing their like ice cream business, and then Nev is secretly filming them, and he's doing things like sneezing all over the ice cream and using the cat to lick the scoop and like scaring children and all that. It's just a really funny episode, and I think the best part of this episode is when we get the song, the Mr. Prank, the ice cream man, drive his jaw, the ice cream man. That song, yeah. Yeah, it's just overall really funny episode with a lot of enjoyable moments, and Bouncer Boy is just so funny in it. Number 2 is Gnome Laughing Matter, when essentially the antagonist in this episode is a gnome, which records Angry Pants just doing like his old ice cream business. And I think this song's really interesting because Angry Pants is actually a much more likable character in this episode. He just delivers lots of funny one-liners, and him and Nev join forces to defeat the gnome. I just kind of think probably one of the best lines from the show is "The gnome is gnome or." I just like the way the gnome talks is just so funny. I just laughs at the end of every sentence. How like at the start, Angry Pants doesn't believe Nev. He doesn't believe like the gnome has gone into the cupboard, and it's just so funny to watch. And now 5 honourable mentions: Celebrity Ice Cream Chef, Clown Law, Robo Posty Rampage, The Strange Case of Mr. Prank, and Mission Impossible. And the number 1 best episode of Bear Behaving Badly is The Legend of Angry Pants Gold. This is when Angry Pants is going to be leaving, so quite sort of a sad-ish episode. But then Keith wants to find Angry Pants' gold, and it's a bit of a mystery to when they find it, and they find out Angry Pants isn't sad to leave at all. And then I find a spy camera and try to figure out where the gold is, and Angry Pants delivers one of his best lines in the history of the show. If I find out who's responsible for this mess, I'm going to squeeze them into a paste, put them on my toothbrush, and clean my teeth with them. I think that was quite a good impression. Anyway, but in the end, they think they found it in a pot, and there's sort of like it sort of spreads light everywhere. Then it gets stolen by a magpie, but then like they don't know what to do, so they try and replace it with their own sort of fortune of just like like basically nothing. Then at the end, when Angry Pants chases Nev, they find like a party is being thrown for him, and a very heartwarming ending when they find out that Angry Pants isn't actually leaving because everyone's like, it was so nice to him. In this episode, in the end, in a way, Keith is a bit unlikable, but still in a really funny way of how he's like upset that Frank isn't, or Mr. Angry Pants isn't leaving, and he doesn't get to find the gold. But still, it doesn't stop the episode being any less brilliant. Especially when you find out the crazy revelation of how those coins that they thought they lost were actually chocolate, and he actually keeps his gold in his teeth. And who forget, he gives us another one of the great songs of the "Love You, Mr. Frank, da da da, love you, Barney, love you, Crazy Keith, love you, Jam," and so on and so on. But that's why I feel that The Legend of Angry Pants Gold is the #1 best episode of Bear Behaving Badly. For next time, maybe leave in the comments which shows you would like me to do for the top 10 like best episodes of. Just put it in the comment section. It'd be a kids show or an adult show, whatever you want. Just put it there and I might do it. Bye bye.